Vandy's been playing really, really well. They had a huge win over Ole Miss on Saturday. They've got 6 guys that shoot 36% or better from three. Be a major issue for us guarding the three-point line. Maxwell Evans is playing really well. He killed us last year. We expect Pippen will be back based on what we've seen. He has the highest usage rate in our league by far. He has one of the top 5 highest usage rates in the country. And so, I think Coach Stackhouse has done a phenomenal job with them. They've been really close in a lot of games. They run terrific offensive stuff. They have as good a weak side movements and screening and cutting and in screens as any team in our league. And so, I think they've really gotten better. They've improved. They've started, I think, 13 different players in SEC play. They've played 14 different players this season, and so. They mix and match, and they figured out Jordan Wright's been playing really well for them, a kid from Baton Rouge who went to Dunham. Harvey's been good. The freshman number 10 has been good. Albert's made some big plays. For them, and their bigs have stepped up. So it'll be a very, very challenging game, very, very difficult game. They went on the road and played really well at Alabama. Had an opportunity to win that game. They beat Mississippi. They played Tennessee close at home without Pippen. Obviously, they've lost to Sue as well. But like I said, it's a credit to Coach Stackhouse. Those kids, they play extremely hard. They're a talented group. They're a good group, and they run really, really good offense and play really, really well together. So he's done a phenomenal job, and I think they've really improved this year like they did throughout the course of the year last year. And it's gonna be an absolute battle tomorrow.
Well, I know, last year is different, and you got 2 different teams. But last year, when they beat you up, they were pretty good when you were undefeated in league play. Do you kind of maybe point that out that anybody can beat anybody? I mean, especially at this time of the year.
This is a good team now. They're a totally different team than they were. This is a very good team. I know what their record says, but they are a good team. If you're a coach and you can't pop in the film and see how good they are and see what sort of progress they've made, I mean they're a good team. If they replayed some of the SEC games from earlier this year with their full roster, like they'd have a lot better league record based on how they're playing right now. So I mean this is a challenging game for us.
But do you have to warn your players that they?
What do we need to warn them about? We've lost 2 in a row. I mean, what's there to warn them about? We've lost 2 in a row. We got to win. I don't know what more warning we need than what happened to Georgia and what happened in the second half at Arkansas. But we've got to play better. We got to get back to playing how we were a couple games ago. It's going to be a big challenge against Vanderbilt, though. Huge challenge.
Hey, Will, I know you mentioned they're not going to have to sue. I mean, just how, in the first half, really, the last game, you guys really controlled the boards, and it kind of helped you, get that lead in the first half. I mean, how big is controlling the boards going to be against Vanderbilt, a team that's really kind of, I guess, a little bit at the bottom of the league and at that this year?
In what? In rebounding?
Yeah.
Well, there's no worse defensive rebounding team in our league than the LSU Tigers. I think we're 14 out of 14. So, when they miss the threes, we got to rebound them, but we got to make them miss threes. Last year, we didn't make them miss any threes at their place, and they're shooting it. I mean, Evans is shooting over 40%. Pippen's shooting it well. I mean, they got 6 guys shooting over 36% from three. I think we got 2. And they're second in the SEC and made threes a game. And we've got to, before we worry about defensive rebounding, we got to force them to miss shots.
Well, it seems that over the last month or so, the team's kind of struggled with consistency in a lot of areas. You got 2 games to try to wrap up and shore up some loose ends. What are you hoping they can tie up in the last 2 games?
We just got to play together. We got to play with great spirit. We got to play together for 40 minutes. We haven't done that these last 2 games, and we haven't been good enough to overcome that. So we got to play together, have great spirit, be connected, and be committed to one another.
And I know you already referenced last year's game against Vanderbilt. Of course, they put up 90 on y'all. What's the maybe advantage you could have in this rematch against them now?
I think they put up 98 or 99, didn't they? Like 98 to 90 or 99 to 90.
It was up there.
Yeah, it was quite a bit. I mean, we couldn't control the dribble penetration. They made a bunch of threes. So I mean, we've got to be able to guard the bounce, and we've got to be able to guard their 3-point shooters, know where their 3-point shooters are.
Will, is there anything you can do at this point to fix the defense, or is it too late in the season for any kind of major, I don't know, whatever?
I mean, you can't do a major overhaul, but we can certainly continue to get better rebounding the ball. I mean, we showed the first half of the Arkansas game when we're locked in and focused on that we can be, adequate, rebounding the ball. And so we've just got to continue to try to do that, continue to get our transition defense better. Our half-court defense hasn't been that poor. It's just been the other parts of it.
Well, after the game Darius Days had the other day, what do you kind of do with him? Do you kind of let him alone, or do you have to kind of get him, and have a talk with him, or what? I know you're trying to keep his spirits up, obviously, but I mean, do you do something different when a guy has a bad game like that?
No, I mean, shoot, he's a great shooter. He's one of our guys shooting over 36%. Him and Javante, and so I mean, he's going to bounce back. He'll be fine. He's playing great before these last 2 games, and Days will be fine. He's just going to take what the game gives him, take those good looks, and he'll knock them in like he did against Auburn and Tennessee at home.
Yeah, well, at this point in the year, are you concerned with the game-to-game inconsistency? In one game, everybody shows up, next game it just doesn't happen. Are you kind of, at this point, kind of concerned with that because you're in March now, you're there?
Yeah, I mean, inconsistency starting in another week is going to, send us home. So yeah, we're very concerned about that. We're very worried about that. And we're working 16 hours a day to get that fixed, and to try to get us as consistent as we can be.
Is it a thing where, I mean, you try to get stuff fixed, or because guys either want to play or they don't? Either they buy in or they don't, or whatever you want to call it.
No, I don't think. I mean, I'm the leader of the program. It's not on our players. It's on me. And so I don't subscribe to, if a player is not bought in, that's my fault. If a player is not playing well, that's my fault. There's things I need to be doing to help that guy play better. And there's things I need to be doing to make sure that guy's, bought in, so to speak. I don't like that term, but that guy's, committed to what we're doing or on mission with us. And so, that all falls on my shoulders.